Oh, well, it's Jax back again with another bike video for another bike project. Hopefully, I can get this camera to stay focused. I don't know what's wrong with it, but this is a Nishiki Olympic. Never mind the mess. The bike's sitting in the room right now because I'm about to swap on some bull bars while I'm trying to watch Demon Slayer on the Xbox One. So that's why it's in here. Anyway, the history of this bike was, it was about 2-3 weeks ago. I remember seeing a guy riding this thing in pretty much the same condition you see it sitting in now, except it it had its original back wheel with no tire tube, and it had like a mountain bike or beach cruiser wheel on the front of it, a 26-inch wheel or 559 centimeter wheel or millimeter wheel on it. No brakes whatsoever. And my grandmother saw it when she was on the way to my house because she took a side street. So I went and recovered it. It's about my size. It's about the same size as my Schwinn Prelude. It might just be a tad bit bigger, but I know it'll fit me because my Schwinn Probe is also about the same size. And judging by the Fuji True Temper frame I have put away, this is probably about 64 centimeters because that's how big that frame is. So my plan is I am going to make this a single speed, not a fixed gear. I'm not really into the fixed gear, but it's going to be a single speed. I've got a front wheel and these beautiful bull bars from Fall City Community Bike Works over here in Louisville, Kentucky, off of at the corner of Oak and Logan, next to the liquor store. For those nearby that could possibly be watching this, so I'm going to be taking everything off of it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with. I might have something to do with this shifter set. I've actually never seen down tube shifters mounted on top of the top tube. But yeah, I think I have a plan for that. Another bike those could possibly go on, but I don't want to make any promises. This is from my research, the only year or so that the Olympic came in this color makes it, I think, a 1985. It's, I don't want to say it's heavy, but compared to my Schwinn Prelude as a complete bike, the Schwinn Probe frame, this bike would just, as it sits, I don't want to say it's heavy, but it's not like super light. I mean, it's chromoly, and we know chromoly frames are not actually that light. I'd say it's more of a middleweight. It's not as light as a Columbus steel frame, but it's not as heavy as a Tange steel frame, like my Schwinn High Sierra. That bike's probably like 30-35 pounds. And the Columbus frame Prelude is lighter than that, being a physically bigger bike with very similar tube sizes. and mostly original, other than the wheels and brake calipers and bar tape. So I would say a bike like this, a chromoly frame, I would say would be kind of a middleweight bike. And I'm just using realistic, real world, normal people weight ideals, not bike world ideals where a 17-pound bike is supposed to be heavy when it's not. Maybe compared to most of these new age carbon bikes, this might be heavy. But even though there's carbon bikes that are 17 pounds, even road frames, especially like cyclocross. But this is going to be a single speed. I don't think I'm going to do anything else to it other than convert it to single speed. Once again, I effing hate blue and white. So I'm contemplating if I should just completely take it all the way apart so I can paint it. But I'm at this kick. I'm at a kick recently where certain of my bikes that I would like to repaint, like my Schwinn High Sierra, I want to have my High Sierra repainted or powder coated in the same color, and have the stickers or labels remade. So I wouldn't mind like stripping this paint bike down or having this bike stripped down and repainted a different color. That would be what I would want to do if I stripped it down, because then I would have to get labels made. Because I don't know, for some reason I wanted, even if I did repaint it, I would want the labels so you can see what it is. I'll know what it is. It's been mine so long now that I'm not going to forget what it is. Especially with, these YouTube videos and whenever I start putting it on Instagram. But most likely I'm probably not going to repaint it. And what I might end up doing instead is sticker bombing it. Because I don't like the colors. Can't stand blue and white. I'm a red and black kind of guy. And it ain't got shit to do with U of L or the Cardinals or any of that. They're just my two favorite colors. So most likely I might end up, if not painting it and then trying to find new labels for it, I might just end up sticker bombing it, honestly. And I'm not going to be doing something dumb like cutting off the derailleur hanger or anything else that's would aid in converting this thing back into a regular road bike. But I know one thing, I do really want to sticker bomb this bike though. I really do. Like, I don't even care too much about like trying to paint it. I mean, all them stickers would just make it just a tad bit heavy, but if you saw the wheels I wanted for it, there were apparently some mag wheels for Polo that were 4 pounds a piece. Well, you wasn't really too concerned about the weight of some stickers on top of a 2-stage paint or a single-stage paint. Of course, I have been musing around the idea of putting truck bed liner on a frame. Not like Line X or that roll-on stuff, but like the Duplicolor aerosol in the can kind, because it goes on thin. And when I did the trunk of my Crown Vic, it actually looked pretty damn good. So I'm not super concerned on how much this thing's going to weigh. Most of the stuff it's not going to have on it. Well, most of the stuff meaning the derailleurs and handlebars. Pretty sure these are a little bit lighter than those. Though the weight is probably marginal. See, a lot of this weight shit is actually marginal. Like I might not even put in a sealed bottom bracket in there like I like to do on all my bikes. May or may not. It just depends. But derailleur's going. Bottle cages are going. I want to get some modern brakes on it. Not that there's anything wrong with those. I just want some modern brakes. If I did anything, even though it'd be slightly marginal, I wouldn't mind trying to find a carbon fork for this bike. A carbon fork and maybe a carbon seat post. And that'd pretty much be about it. Find some lightweight BMX style pedals for it. I can't wait to get it complete so I can check out that saddle. See if I'm going to keep that saddle or not. So I know the saddle on the Prelude, it's got to go. It's got to go. So basically, I'm going to be making this a single speed. Change out the brakes, change out the bars, and I need to find brake levers. I'm going to run these until I find, or at least, yeah, I'm going to run these until I find the proper brake levers to go on this bar. I think they're called track style levers or something. They just kind of go in the end of here. And because I'm probably just going to end up sticker bombing this frame and not doing any kind of painting or stripping of painting and whatever, because honestly, the bike's already kind of hefty, kind of middleweight, being a chromoly frame. I mean, screw it. I mean, what's a sticker weigh? Like, not even an ounce or about a gram or so, if you want to be all metric about it. So, it's whatever. It's whatever about that part. Lost my train of thought here. Let me see the stickers, grams. But, alright, though, that's pretty much it. Going to be a single speed. I'm keeping the crank. Those are water bottle cages. Derailleur is going to be going. Brakes are going to be going. And because it's going to be sticker bomb, there's going to be, that's where I was getting to. There's not going to be so much of a, a matching theme. So I'm not have to worry about matching I don't give a damn to match the bar tape to the saddle and the tires or all that stuff like I've been seeing on the cycling Reddit. Because there's not going to be like a paint theme. And actually, since I've already got some stickers coming in from Wish, I mean, I might as well just get to it, you know. I'm not too worried about the quote-unquote access weight. It's at least not so much as I am when I start to put that GMC Denali together. Which this probably weighs... Actually, the Denali frame is lighter than this frame as they both sit. And it has a fork on it. The Denali frame has a fork on it. It doesn't have a crank. It doesn't have any of these extra accessories or handlebars and stem. But this frame, as it sits, outweighs that Denali frame. It is actually almost as heavy as the Gary Fisher Katai frame that I have. That is basically the same as this. except it lacks a fork. It's got its handlebars and stem zip tied to it. It's got brakes on it. It's got a crank on it. It doesn't have a seat, and it's alloy. And it and this weigh about the same because I was just moving them around recently trying to put some frames on Craig's on Facebook, like that Trek frame you see on the background. Actually, Trek frame is high tin steel fork. It weighs as much as this bike does. So that's about some general ideas of about what this thing weighs as a frame. It's pretty much a frame because they weigh both of these bikes feel like they weigh the same. So if I could find a carbon fork for it, that'd be effing sweet because I'm not sure what that fork is made out of, but I know it's steel. And I know a lot of times the fork is a different steel than the rest of the bike, depending on what it's made out of. Like that Trek is a high tin steel frame, and the fork is high tin steel. The Denali's and Road Techs, their frames are aluminum, but their forks are high tin steel. Think like a Huffy Cranbrook, the fork and the frame is made out of the same material. I think the fork and frame on the Prelude is made out of the same material, the same Columbus steel. Well, I could be wrong, but it might be. And the Gary Fisher Katai, well, it had a RockShox Judy fork on it, so there's that. That fork's going to be heavy regardless. But yeah, I just got to find, those track style or whatever brake levers that go into bar ends. Last time I had a set of Pursuit bars, I just took the actual road brake levers and I just mounted them up on the end, and it looked pretty cool too, but it kind of looks a little clunky. Plus, the track style levers are probably going to be a little bit lighter. Correct me if I'm wrong, but those bar end brake levers are probably going to be lighter than these. And then everything I don't want on here is going straight to Fall City because I don't need it. It's nice to have me a little pile of parts like I have, but most of those parts I have no use for unless I'm putting together a bike, usually somebody else's bike, and I don't have a current bike that most of the stuff I own I would either put on or actually would fit on. So that'll be going. So those stuff will be going up to Fall City. And it's going to be basic. It's going to be sticker bomb, and bar tape. I don't know what I'm going to do with the bar tape. It's surely not going to be this stuff because it's about to come off when I swap these bars out. But I've been seeing people post some nice looking bar tape. I forgot the brand of it, but I've seen it online as well. And I was looking up that oil slick rainbow stuff that seems to be more for BMX bikes than anything else. I wouldn't mind a rainbow slicked stem. That'd be pretty cool. And brake calipers. But because the bike's going to be put together and sticker bombed, I don't have no direct theme for the bike as far as components and stuff goes, like I do for most of my other bikes. So it doesn't matter if stuff is a little bit mismatched, like black brake calipers and satin aluminum levers, something like that. None of that stuff really matters. I'm not trying to match it to the stem or any of that nonsense. But I did see some nice bar tape online. I can't remember the brand of it. But they seem to use a lot of geometric shapes in them, like triangles and whatnot. Just an alternative to lizard skin. Not that I don't like lizard skin. I love lizard skin bar tape, but I just want a little bit something different. My Prelude had lizard skin bar tape on it, and so did my Rotec and all that. I just want something a little less single color. I think they got some of that oil slick looking bar tape too. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see as progress goes on. I'm just kind of laying things out right now in this video. Get a general idea of where I'm trying to go with this frame. Now I've got those stickers coming in, waiting on those from Wish. I got the front wheel. I actually got to service the hub in the front wheel. And hopefully when I go to Fall City, I'll be able to build a back wheel because they didn't have any back wheels that I needed. And I had a back wheel I took down there yesterday to take the gears off and convert to a single speed, but it turned out to be a cassette and not a freewheel. So instead of trying to stack spacers and all that stuff, plus I put the back wheel on a bike around this vintage because the wheel was originally a 8-speed wheel. The hub in general was just too wide to just slip right up in there anyway. So I'm going to see about building a back wheel. They got hubs and spokes and rims and things. And it'll be the first time I've ever built one. Hopefully that can go down this Sunday. 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Open on Sundays. Now it's the first Wednesday of every month, which is 6:30 to 9 o'clock. 6:30 p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. If you're local and you want to check it out, bike donations, buy a bike, learn how to work on a bike, what have you. And I found out recently that one of their bike mechanics, Alan, passed away this year. I've been on between things like jobs and life and Facebook bans. No, I got on there to see if there was anything going on and saw something about Alan passing away this March. Me and him didn't get off on the right foot the first time I met him, but if I recall, he is the one that managed to put together a bike that I started and a couple of other people messed with and could never get the thing together. It was a Eddie Bauer hybrid cruiser, the one with the little bitty coil spring, coil over little shock upper at the seat stay and the suspension fork. The frame of those is actually shared with the Next Avalon and a couple other bikes that's based off the design of the Next and Kent LaJala frame. But if I recall, he's the one that managed to get that bike to act right and all complete together and rideable so it can be sold or donated. And he was a pretty cool dude, and he was a top mechanic in my book. So any local cyclists that know anything about Fall City or has met some people in the cycling world here in Louisville, Kentucky, or anything. The man loves to ride his bike. He rode bikes that he built at the shop to make sure they was in running order and whatnot. Fall City started a hashtag called Ride with Alan. It's ALAN, not that's his name is ALAN. So like I already did my little when I found out I was at the skate park with my bike and did a little hashtag post for Instagram. But if you ride and you are somewhat in tune of what kind of bike community we have here, on Instagram and Facebook, throw in that hashtag Ride with Alan. He was an alright dude. He was an alright dude. And that's pretty much all this video is. Just outline what I think I'm gonna do with this bike. I'm gonna sticker bomb it. And what I might do is, now that I think about it, because I remember that I was trying to look up some of that oil slick bike parts, ran across some like iridescent paints and whatnot. I might actually just have some of this bike stripped down where stickers won't fit. Mainly the rear triangles, the seat stays and chain stays area. Might just, have that stuff stripped off and repaint that, just the back alone where stickers won't fit. And then repaint that myself with some of that spray paint. Who knows? Because if I do, it'll be bike number 3 that I need to have the paint stripped off of. And I want to have I do want to keep the labels on it. But there's somewhere I can go not too far from where I live at that redoes labels, and I might ask them how much it costs to get a set of labels made. Not everything. I don't really care about that and all that and the Sheller's logo, Sheller sticker. It's most of this stuff. Once you see what the bike is, you can just look it up in Google or ask somebody what it's comprised of and its components and whatnot. But at least the Nishiki and Olympic part, they're there and right there on top of the seat stay, maybe. Want to have those labels remade. I don't really care about the front label because there's going to be stickers covering all that anyway. A little bit more info about the bike. What is that? Let's see, the brake calipers are Diacomp. The crank is a Sugino XP or VP. Sugino is starting to kind of fade. The rear derailleur was a Shimano something or other. It was too faded for me to tell what it was. So the parts were, I don't know, in my opinion, the parts are pretty decent. And I like the crank. I can't stand new age cranks. They look like Play-Doh and plastic and something you'd find on a Walmart bike. I'm looking at you, DI2 and all that crap. Them ugly cranks. I like the classic 5-spoke crank, just like I like non-asymmetrical 5-spoke crank. Just like I like the wheels on my cars to be 5-spoke. None of that BBK and none of that nonsense. Even though they look good on certain cars, it's just not my style. Just like new age cranks aren't my style. I like these classic style cranks. It's just about to be around in 30 minutes, so It was just a layout and just a couple of talking points and this and that. I'm trying to do this build on the cheap for the most part. Um, After it's turned into a single speed, it's probably going to be as light as it's ever going to be, unless I throw some carbon parts at it. And I'm not really trying to shell out carbon parts for this bike. I already am trying to find a carbon fork for the when I rebuild the Denali, because I have certain plans for that bike. But this is just going to be a runabout single speed, and hopefully I can find people to ride with instead of being riding by myself all the time, or my girlfriend when I get her bike together. But that's it. See you next time on YouTube or Instagram at Jack's Rhapsody. Hit me up on Instagram as well, because you know how I've been doing it with my clothes projects. I've been cross-posting the project, so I can get some views on both sites, and what I post on YouTube and what I use my Instagram for are two completely different things in reality. Just to get some more exposure to myself with my art and photographs and things. And if you're so interested, there's also my Twitter and whatnot. You can find me on Jack's Rhapsody on just about anything. But that's it for this bike. And I will catch you guys online, wherever you may be at, wherever I may be at, wherever we run into each other at. Instagram, Facebook, well, not Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, Twitter, wherever we will probably interact at. All right, deuces.